It's going down, it's going
Oh
down.
my god.
Oh, woo! This is so beautiful.
Rocks and stones. They're everywhere, quite literally. Most of them are normal, but sometimes we find weird ones. Stonehenge is probably the most notable set of weird rocks. We know all about this one, so I'm just going to go over some stuff quickly that most people don't know. Each of the stones weigh around 20 to 25 tons. All of them laid out in this weird circle-y thing to line up with the summer and winter solstice. So the sun comes up over the heel stone, which is this one over here. The place was built around 2600 BC in Salisbury Plain in Wiltshire, or however that's said, in England, and we don't exactly know who built it. Most evidence suggests that it was built by Neolithic people from ancient Britain, and the stones themselves come from an area in Wales, and were moved from there 150 kilometres to where they are now. The main thing I wanted to mention about Stonehenge is that the word henge is derived from Stonehenge, but Stonehenge itself isn't actually a henge. A true henge is defined as a roughly circular or oval-shaped earthwork with a bank and internal ditch surrounding a flat central area, and Stonehenge isn't that. It has a ditch around the outside, not the inside. So it's close to being a henge, but doesn't actually qualify for that one dumb reason. So that is weird. What's also weird is if you put Stonehenge at the bottom of Lake Michigan, you get the Lake Michigan Stone Circle in America. This thing is located around the Grand Traverse Bay in Lake Michigan. These stones are quite smaller than Stonehenge's, but are a bit more mysterious. It's 40 feet underwater and was clearly built when the land was dry, around 9,000 years ago, making it 4,000 years older than that British Stonehenge that isn't actually a henge. So technically this is the original. But the exact location is apparently kept a secret, but I don't know, get some scuba gear and head down, maybe you'll find it. We don't really know who made this one either, and the layout of it is weird. There's not many photos of it around either, so I'm going to really try and compensate for it if it wasn't obvious. This is a top-down photo, and the reason for it might have been similar to Stonehenge, but probably not, because water. But they didn't know it was going to be underwater back then. More accepted theories of its use is probably a driving line for herding animals, or some ceremonial or spiritual site. But one of the more interesting things, and why we know the rough age of the stone layout, is one certain rock that's down there. There's a carving of what people believe to be a mastodon, an extinct prehistoric elephant, or could just be a normal elephant. Now, out of the water and in Peru is the Sayhuit monolith, located in the Apurimac region of Peru. This is a really weird, they say monolith, I say rock. Well, more of a boulder, but it's a large granite rock with more than 200 geometric carvings of different animals, including reptiles, frogs, different types of cats, and different things around the surrounding area like ponds, rivers, tunnels, and other irrigation systems. It's believed to be a highly detailed model or topographical map representing the landscape. The rock itself dates back to the Inca Empire during the 15th and 16th century. Now we're getting into the more interesting ones. This next one isn't nearly as old as all the other ones talked about, but still. In 1979, a man using the fake name of Robert C. Christian commissioned stonemasons to construct what is called the Georgia Guidestones. Robert apparently represented a group of loyal Americans, and paying the stonemasons around $100,000 to $300,000 to build it. The actual cost of it isn't known, I'm just kind of guessing from all the stuff I read about. The stones served as a purpose of being a compass, calendar, and clock, and aligned astronomically to mark celestial events like solstices and lunar cycles and stuff like that. The stones also had multiple languages inscribed on the 4 large stones, with older languages at the top and the newer ones like at the bottom. The Guidestones became subjected to controversy and conspiracy theories really quickly, as people claimed it represented sinister or satanic motives. If you read what the stones say, I don't really see how it's very satanic, if at all. And this is what the stones say.
Maintain humanity under 500 million in perpetual balance with nature. Guide reproduction wisely. Improving fitness and diversity. Unite humanity with a living new language, rule, passion, faith, tradition, and all things with a tempered reason. Protect people and nations with fair laws and just courts. Let all nations rule internally, resolving external disputes in a world court. Avoid petty laws and useless officials. Balance personal rights with social duties. Pride, truth, beauty, and love, seeking harmony with the infinite. Be not a cancer on this earth, leave room for nature.
Apart from like the semi-population control stuff, it's not super bad. It seems more about people not being dicks and preserving nature. But anyway, the stones don't exist anymore, as on July 6th of 2022, some guy approached the monument with a bomb and blew a portion of it apart, and then escaped in a silver sedan. For safety reasons, authorities dismantled the rest of it, and now the whole thing's gone. So yeah, it's not super old like the other stuff and didn't last very long. And the people who commissioned it, along with the guy who blew it up, still remain anonymous. So yeah. Now, in Serbia, in the Bodaibo district of the... I'm not going to even pronounce this. Within a taiga forest, a Russian geologist discovered the Pantomsky crater. Local indigenous people already knew about its existence and called it Fire Eagle's Nest, and considered it quite dangerous. The crater itself is some weird crater-looking pile of rocks that isn't actually a crater. No one knows what it is or how it was formed. But in 2005, a research team led by Dr. Vladimir Antipin went to the crater, and the doctor reportedly died from a heart attack either during or soon after they went to the crater. This is one of the reasons why the locals consider it so dangerous. Another reason they think this is because nothing on the crater actually grows. If you look at the photos, the mound is surrounded by greenery and forests. It was speculated that nothing grows there because of radiation, but from the researchers found, there is no radiation. Also, animals like to avoid the area. Unfortunately, as much as we all want it to be some weird alien supernatural stuff.
So do you guys just not do the anal probe anymore? Is that...
Nah, that's more or less been retired.
I see.
There are a few hitches in the locals' reasoning for its danger. For one thing, the entire thing is made of rocks and rubble. And as we all know, not much apart from moss grows on rocks. Also, the animals avoiding the area, animals are smart, and there's no reason for them to be going up there. I can't really explain the guy who died though. That was kind of weird, but most likely bad timing. Which, weirder things have happened. You've probably heard this song before. The song is called Tiptoe Through the Tulips, and was written and sung by a guy called Tiny Tim. Now this song is creepy in its own right, but Tiny Tim literally died while singing this on stage, in front of an audience. So yeah, these two things are most likely just coincidence, but that's not fun. It was definitely aliens or something like that. I don't know. Onto the weird next rock. Well, not rock. Head. But they're made of rocks, so whatever. Everyone knows about these. Probably the most famous out of all the things in this talked about. The Easter Island heads. I just wanted to quickly talk about these because doing some research, I found some interesting stuff. The Maui heads, which I think is the real name, they actually have bodies. Buried underneath the heads, this happened because of years of soil and sediment buildup. But starting as early as 1914, UCLA have been digging these things up and found out that most, if not all, the heads have bodies underneath them. The torsos are covered in carvings and symbols. They're also kind of fat. Each head is different. None of them are really the same, apparently, as much as the photos of them look all the same. But the carvings on the bodies all mainly represent Rapa Nui lineage or clan identity. But we don't exactly know why they made these, but most people think it's most likely representing deified ancestors or chiefs, and or probably some sacred or ceremonial sites or something. And they're all made of volcanic tuff. Minecraft should add volcanoes at some point, that would be cool. The Ural relief map, also called the Dashka stone, also sometimes called the map of the creator, is some weird stone slab with a map carved into it, apparently. It was found in 1999 in the South Ural area of Bashkiria. Fuck it. This word. And this thing is really debated whether this is real or not. It's made up of 3 layers: diopside glass, silicon, and a thin calcium porcelain mixture. So it's not really a stone like the rest of them. This one was more man-made from the beginning, but the stone features a detailed map of the area with channels, rivers, and other irrigation systems. People speculate the stone could be up to 120 million years old, which probably isn't true. They only say this because of 2 ancient seashells found within the slab are around that age. The stone is believed to be a part of a much larger map, as the outside seems to be cut out of a larger structure. The locals of the area also played a big role in either showing the research team where it was or helping them find it. The information varies quite a lot and isn't really clear on which, but apparently it was found underneath a porch. So that's something. And that was some weird stones and rocks. There's also other ones like Polkiani, a forest in this region, where the forest is dotted in these weird clusters of rocks that apparently move every so often. The forest is seen by some spiritualists and other weirdos as an old pagan sanctuary, or just a natural spiritual center. And a lot of psychics and those types of people go there and like meditate and do stuff and all that nonsense. There's also Uluru from Australia. Yep. There's also the Plain of Glass and the Guatemalan headstone, but I honestly don't think anyone cares anymore, so thanks for watching. And if you're curious, I could practice pronouncing a lot of these words before like recording them and stuff. They're in the script and all that, but I think it's kind of funny not as a disrespectful thing, just like I'm not very good at pronouncing. I only know English. Can't blame me. But anyways, yeah, thanks for watching. Subscribe.